that like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, Predator high five, where they're like like that, but he was like boom, 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 boom like that, and he kept doing it, and the guy was like hand was like it was like shaking. It was just the most intense raw emotion.
The Counting Sheep podcast is brought to you by the Gypsy West. If you like good rock and roll music, or if you like any good music, go check out the Gypsy West. Listen to their latest release, Accomplices 2, and go to their website at thegypsywest.com. Check them out. They're freaking awesome. We're hearing a snippet from one of their songs right now, actually. So enjoy. And at the end of the podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition, or it's not even weeks anymore, because we fucking fuck that up all the time. Welcome to this edition of Counting Sheep. I'm Sheep, as you know. Today, we're even actually more scarce of people than last time. Last time it was a fucking horde compared to this week. But it's a little bit of exciting and a little bit of a challenge for me, because I've wanted to do a one-on-one podcast. As most of my podcasts I listen to are always one-on-one, even through Skype or through Google Voice. But, yeah, I've been wanting to do a one-on-one podcast, and today I have with me...
Hi, I'm Dan Pfeiffer. I'm friends with Chris. Oh, excuse me, Sheep. And, yeah, we might be few, but we have the voice of many.
I like that.
So
I like that. That's two good quotes I got from... 2 podcasts in a row.
There you go.
It was what was it? Lynch was saying something last time. Was we strive to do the things that we love, and then we end up doing the things we hate. Something along those lines.
Good. That's
very
good.
Very metaphorical.
It is very metaphorical,
but
very poetic.
Dan is part of the group of filmmakers last time, who we had on the podcast last time, who is in his final semester?
Yeah, this is it. Just the last hurrah.
Final semester of the film school that we will remain nameless like last time. But I've known Dan for 2 semesters.
Yeah, it's
like I take classes now.
We only measure we only measure friendships in collegiate intervals. So unfortunately, but it might have been only maybe about a year, but I feel like it's been a lifetime.
Well, yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
This is true. And I've been on a few sets with you. I've worked on your movie specifically, which is...
What Lurks Beyond. And by the way, we'll get into that in a brief second, but your help on that film was... Well, we couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, I thank you.
And I mean that from a firsting perspective, and also we don't have enough profanity on set. And I think that you bring that element. You bring that.
For those of you who don't know what AC is the first assistant cameraman, which I want to become, or I am theoretically.
Oh,
but
you are.
They don't give you a degree at the college that we graduated at. But that's what I kind of fell into. And obviously for people who know me personally and who have been around me for long years, I curse like a fucking sailor, and it shows. And it shows through this podcast, and also obviously if you've been a friend of mine for a very long time. But I find it very funny because we were talking about before the podcast that we are good friends, but yet we're supposed to hate each other because we like different hockey teams.
Yeah, I mean it's that old, maximum of, what do you do to your son who has disappointed you? This is a mythological stance here. It's like Zeus looking down on Hercules and saying, "Listen, you're only half god, but you're an Islander fan." So it kind of negates it all. It's one of those really deep, profound essence. And listen, we come from. I want to say it's almost like the whole, opposite side of the tracks scenario.
Okay.
You live in the ritzy, up and coming part of town, and maybe it's the reverse because I'm a Ranger fan, so
yeah,
they give us a little more courtesy. And you're coming from, you're coming from Nassau County, and
yes,
which
is I live on the border of several different either towns and or boroughs,
communities. Forget towns and boroughs. That's what's cool though, because it is like that spillover from the boroughs.
We have sidewalks. You guys don't have sidewalks.
Because we don't need them.
All right, listen.
Who needs sidewalks when you have beautiful wide open streets and vistas?
What? Then that's why there's so many people. There's so many crosses on the highway and crosses on the street because people are supposed to be walking on the sidewalk and they get clipped by cars because they're forced to walk in the street.
I honestly thought those crosses were just like markers to say, hey, this is the distance on the highway.
Well, if you want to hear the real thing, apparently my friend said a long time ago when we were traveling out to Montauk, is that he's heard that the cool thing that Suffolk County kids do is they get really drunk at a house party, and then they get the smallest compact car, and they pile as many kids,
clown style,
and then they try to make it to the next party, and all those mile markers turn into
there you go. Though, aren't they just mile markers for parties?
Yes, let's go with that.
Parties missed. Parties.
This is where here lies Jake because he didn't make it to the next party. This is how far he made it, but we wanted him to not go. He wanted to go the distance, but he couldn't.
Just want to do a quick shout out to Jake. That party was pretty awesome. You missed it. Oops. But seriously,
Jake, I missed the party too.
Don't drink and drive.
I missed the party too.
Preachy.
Jake, so
we're getting a little preachy. we kind of stepped on both lines there. It's we're offending people, and now we're making it right.
We try not to offend a lot of people on the show.
Who's not going to be offended by anything?
Oh, that's true.
We already talked about sports briefly. That's
true.
And I don't think we should delve too much into the Islanders. I think that it's it's the black sheep of hockey.
I will say this: my girlfriend went to her first hockey game ever.
Yeah,
a month back, and said that she will only now go to a Rangers Islanders game because she went to another one that wasn't. I think she went to a Rangers Devils game, and she's like, well, "What is this?
What do you mean?
We're all the shouting fans and the profanity."
That depends. It depends because obviously, she went to the Garden.
No, she came to the. I've never.
No, you said Rangers Devils.
No, Rangers Islanders. Was her first game.
Yeah, but then she went to another game.
No. She went to a Rangers Islander game at the Coliseum. And then she went to another game, and she said, "Where's all the profanity?" And
because
whatnot.
Rangers and Devils, or Rangers and Flyers, have that same intensity.
Same thing with the Islanders and Pens because of Ferocious Friday last year. And don't give me that fucking look.
That was a look I gave, by the way.
You can't fucking look.
You can't look. I love Islander fans. I really do.
Don't give that fucking look.
It's a checkered past. You got to give it up for a team that steals the Gordon Fisherman logo.
Yeah,
puts it on a jersey. But then you got to give it up for a team that takes the Statue of Liberty and just defaces it and puts it on a jersey. So New York has this ability to do.
But see, that's fine though. But the point is that the Statue of Liberty is a symbol of America, hope, freedom, ammo, guns, and shit like that. The Gordon Fisherman to a hockey team, that would be a great. Why not use the? The other day I asked my father why are the 76ers called the 76ers for basketball? It's
1776.
1776. Why not make it about
That's
America?
History.
Taking the Gordon Fisherman.
Only football team.
What if you're allergic to fish? What if you're allergic to fish? And you're I love the Islanders now, but now they stand for everything that I can't eat.
I have a severe allergy for cod.
So,
that's why I'm not an Islander fan.
That's exactly why.
Also, I can't stand the fans. You speak about Suffolk County, you speak about Nassau County.
The fans are
it reeks of Islander fans. And it's I'm talking, you can go to any delicatessen, and you just go in the morning, you're tired. I just want to get a cup of coffee and an egg sandwich. And then also you look on the wall, and it's 1980s.
Yeah,
no. I live in the past. I do, because the Rangers have been 94, but come on. And then it gets preachy. And then you get the Long Island accent.
I have it, apparently.
I have it too.
I never knew it for years
Me
until
either.
my friends from Jersey came over.
I can't say long. I tried long. I can't do it.
I never knew I had an accent, and my friends are yo, You have an
bad.
accent. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you haven't. Say all these words in succession. They're like, you're in it.
But think about that person who was like, thinking of all the words to have you say.
Yeah, but that's
like,
fine,
go get a
though.
hobby.
He's like, no, but I never knew that I had a Long Island accent. I was trying so hard not to have a Long Island accent.
You can't,
and I
not
hate
have
it. I hate it
you go
so
up,
much.
You go up an hour upstate, and it's like, where am I?
I know.
This is not real. This is not real people.
Yeah, you look at like a place up in Goshen. It's like Goshen has really nice places, and then it's just like some guy riding a tractor on the side of the road with you. It's like, what the fuck? I just went 2 minutes outside of the fucking county.
the New York Oceans.
But that's the problem, though, is that I feel that the Islander fans are aging, and that's what you're saying about living in the past. And all that is the glory days of 79 to 83.
But you're bringing up a valid point of a team franchise not investing in that franchise.
Absolutely.
To the point where, like, all right, the Lighthouse Project, I understand. It's lots of money. It's increase in taxes for residents, but the increase in revenue should outweigh that.
Yes.
And don't you want to keep a major franchise in house? It doesn't pay. I mean, the Mets have plenty of issues, but and Bert Madoff,
Bertie Madoff thing,
but
too. Yeah.
but they're somehow they figured that out. They took out another loan, I guess.
Just printed money.
Yeah, no, they're Mets, the Mr. Met Fun Bucks. Mr. Met Fun Bucks, where like literally
he's no longer there.
He just comes out and he just tips his hat on.
They don't have enough money to bring up and down the apple now.
Yeah, no, it's half mast at this point. Yeah, no, but it's just the Mets though. They've built a new stadium.
Right, it's beautiful.
They're investing in Queens. They're investing. Corona, you can't screw the fan base to the point where you're going to lose any new fans. I mean, you're a perfect example. You're the right age to really like delve into like being a fan of a team. I mean, when I was younger, I was a Ranger fan, but like you get older, maybe the bar scene, going to the games, you appreciate it more. It's just like this is the time, this is the glory days. This is when you really want that win. It's like you're winning, not just them. You're winning, and then when a team loses sight of that, it's the death of it.
I never liked watching I really did. Like, I've been an Islander fan all my life because my father was a hardcore Islander fan. My uncle was a hardcore Islander fan. I didn't start really watching the games till maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, probably a little bit. But I was always an Islander fan. But I never liked going to the games. I always thought like that was because I don't know, I was probably introverted, back in the day. Now I'm extroverted. But
that's good though.
But now, like I'll go to a game. Like we have the partial seating plan this year. And, my father's always, like, semi-superstitious. Like, as soon as I get a jersey, it's going to be all downhill.
How much is that, by the way?
Partial plan?
Yeah.
I don't remember. It was done. My father, like, gave it to a gift as, like, to my brother and myself. I don't think it was a lot of money.
Because I'm curious, because, you look into any Rangers partial season tickets, I mean, you're spending...
Yeah, but then again, you're looking at garden prices.
And they just talking about. It's beautiful, by the way.
Yeah,
the garden.
I heard it's beautiful.
It's so nice.
That's why the hike is going up.
It's worth it, I guess.
Do you know that they're trying to hike up the price? They are hiking up the prices of Islander tickets now. Did you happen to read?
Why?
Okay, well, I'll give you a reason.
Is there some
They send out the annual letter to all the season ticket holders.
Yeah.
And I think someone had a transcript line by line and their analysis of it. You know what our selling points were? John Tavares, Matt Molson, and P.A. Parento have multiple, we are like one of the best lines, one of the best top 75 lines, whatever. We also resurfaced the parking lot. I kid you not. Go read it online. You can find a transcript of it. It says, we are turning a new, we are, not like we're turning, the corner. It's John Tavares has become better.
Yeah.
Matt Molson's become better. Franzi's become better. Oh, and by the way, we've not repaved, we've resurfaced. I don't know if you've been to the Coliseum lately. It literally looked like they took 5 guys in the middle of the night and spray painted the parking lot.
Let's be honest, the Coliseum is like precariously placed, what I like to call on the island of death.
Yes.
Because it's like in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by major roads. How are you going to get to that if, say, you're a kid? And, like, like in the city, you can get on a train and you're right there, actually.
Right, yeah, you literally pop up.
It couldn't be easier than that. For Yankee Stadium, go to the Bronx,
and
same deal.
Giants.
Get on a train.
Beautiful going to their stadium.
Mets, get on a train. There's, like, all this easy access. Why is the Islanders the only major, even now with the Nets, being in Brooklyn, there's easy ways to get to.
It was the island. It wasn't designed like that. Everybody had a car on the island. Everybody took the bus back in the 80s. It wasn't designed like that.
Don't you think that they should? I don't know. Well, that's what the whole Lighthouse Project is proposing.
But
it's easy access.
Going back to that, I'm going to play devil's advocate because I did vote for the actual county vote.
You voted down?
I voted it.
You voted up? Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Because I'm an Islander fan and I'm biased.
Of course, why would you
That's
not?
it.
Yeah.
My father, on the other hand, Islander fan, he goes, if I wasn't an Islander fan, I'd probably vote it down because they just come out with, it was all a joke. They knew that the Nassau County was in debt and they were only going to throw it into the people's face 3 days before the fucking vote was going to happen. So they're like, oh, guess what? Don't vote for this because we're $300 million in debt or something like that. So he goes, in all honesty, I probably would have voted down because it's taxpayers' dollars and it shouldn't have been like that. Now, this is why I'm going to play devil's advocate. Charles Wang wanted the world. He can't have the world, and he scaled it down too quick. Mind you, Kate Murray's an asshole and will never do it. And actually, Garth Snow became more of a figurehead and more of a staple of good and hope because Kate Murray's such an asshole. But you can't... He wanted so much. I saw the 3D mock-ups of everything. It was like Disney fucking World down there. Like, just... Eventually, it came so far down that he had to go to Republicans like Mangano and go, I need to renovate. I need to renovate.
Mangano's a puppet, as most politicians are. But then, the recent issues also going on with Nassau County and the police departments, how they're closing 3 precincts. I don't know if that's still going down.
No, that it got
the
passed.
stave that
got
got
passed.
So
it got held back a week because of our public forum that I went to.
3 they're community watch centers.
One right there. They're closing down Elmont, right next to me. That's our main precinct, and that's the precinct that borderlines Queens. And it goes Elmont, then Queens.
Who needs that with all the home invasions and robberies that are going on? It's always concentrated.
They go from Elmont to Green Acres, and then Green Acres is borderline of Queens.
Yeah.
So they surface all that Valley Stream, and they're on the borderline of Elmont. I understand that you have to find ways to cut money, but don't cut something that's vital.
That's safe.
And apparently the statistics are up that I joked the other day. My girlfriend was like, "Oh, well, I heard the statistics are showing that there's more crime, or there's more, crime is doubled." I'm like, "Why? Because of the 2 fucking home invasions, in 1 year. That's why crime's doubled." But they're saying that
went from 1 to 2.
Basically,
1920s newsy too. Lordy Lord, my hat's off to you.
And it's just, but the thing is like, there are people on one side going, it's not going to, decrease or increase how much time I'm responding. It's going to be the same amount of police force. But then on the other side, people are like, okay, well, if it's going to be the same amount of people out on the job, then how are we saving money? If we're going to retire only 20, or we're going to get rid of 20 paper jobs in the entire 4 precincts that we're going to close, but yet you're rehiring 10 new people per year because of the 10 people that are being forced to retire, then where's the money gap that we're saving? We're still going to have
corruption.
We're still going to have to. It's insane. And then you have the other people that are like, I'm not for anybody.
It's such corruption, and you see it in all aspects of our area. Because look at the MTA. Okay, they constantly are raising prices on trains. Now, granted, they just redid Jamaica Station, which is good. It's nice and it's efficient and everything works.
Because I was told back in the day, don't go to Jamaica. Don't transfer to Jamaica.
Yeah, and
I've always been told.
Yeah, I used to do it as a kid, and it definitely doesn't feel good. But now it's like it's nice. It's very European-esque with the way it's designed.
Very much.
Now the East Side Project was supposed to be going into effect, where there still are burrowing literally to Grand Central, and that's where they're going to have 2 options. You can go to Penn from LIRR or to Grand Central, which is that's awesome.
Going straight to Midtown,
That way your commuters are split in half. There's no more this huge rush in the morning.
Right.
You can go exactly where you want to go. Now that's being threatened to shut down because it's money corruption. Because where's all the money in the MTA going? It's like all this is being allocated. All of a sudden, government Albany is pulling out of funding certain things.
But hasn't this project been going on for years?
And
been scrapping it over and over again? Like there's like a retainer?
I feel like they're just like...
Because I've heard about this project for years. My friend goes, there's like a
they're building
6-figure retainer on file every year that just goes okay.
Yeah.
How's that possible?
I don't know.
Who's our current mayor?
Oh, come on.
Cuomo? No, Cuomo's the governor, right?
Yeah.
Crap on a stick. I can't even remember because he was clearing everybody out of Zuccotti Park the other day.
Oh god.
It's not Pataki. Pataki used to be.
Oh, Pataki.
Long ago. Or I was gonna. What was the other one? LaGuardia. I was gonna go back that far.
Oh, jeez. Jeez.
But regardless, we'll figure it out in a minute. But it's just how can you sit on a project like that? If you're the mayor and you sit on this project and you're like, yeah, well, there's a lot of bumps and all this other stuff. But I mean, obviously, bureaucracy and bureaucratic nonsense is going to take forever. I mean, look how. I mean, I got yelled at this before, but look how long it took us to build the 9/11 memorial. It took us fucking 10 years to build the 9/11 memorial. That's atrocious. Like, okay, I'm biased because that was a major catastrophe that happened in my lifetime. Maybe other major catastrophes like wars and monuments to wars have happened. But to me, in the age of technology and doing and it being still sort of fresh in people's mind, 10 years is a long fucking time. And that's because of the bureaucratic nonsense where either the families weren't happy with what they got. Anyway, but...
Dude, I just literally went downtown. I had to go to Hoboken, and I got off at Fulton. Mm-hmm. And you walk up the steps to the street level, and you're by Church Street, and you look right up, and you see the new tower.
Right.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really like all inspiring. It's just like, and it's nowhere near complete, but it's like, it's to the point where it's like, it's not going to be more than a year. Things go so quick after like
the last time I was down there was for my 21st birthday in 2006, I'm thinking.
Yeah, so it was a while ago.
And I could see some of the floors on the bottom. Yeah. But I want to go down. Apparently, you need to get tickets for the memorial because there's just so many people.
It's a waiting
list. You have to. Just
and
get tickets to go down there.
They're catering. I think they're still catering towards families and victims.
Yeah,
which, good.
Yeah, I've seen the photos. I really want to go back there because before it was all fenced off and you weren't even able to get remotely near it. But I do want to go back.
Yeah, the tower. You can see the tower too now from certain vantage points in the city, which is like, it's great. I mean, it's a sad thing that it took this long, but it's being done. Which
indeed, you know what's sad too? Mike Milbury. Can you believe that he's still on Hockey Night Live or Hockey Night in Canada?
No, Pierre is a nightmare.
What, Pierre? What's his? I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, don't bother. Asshole Pierre. Suck Crosby off Pierre. That's what we're talking about.
How do you feel?
Fuck him.
How do you feel about Ron Duguay though, living in the 80s? Come on, you can't deny that he's dresses sharp every day. Yeah, he puts more products than Bon Jovi.
He looks like a pimp.
Hair.
Yeah, he looks like a pimp.
He's a hockey pimp.
Badass,
dude. It's so good. Good.
Yeah, well, he's no Glenn Healy, but.
No, well, Glenn. We already talked about Glenn Healy before.
Yeah, I know we
Glenn
did.
Healy is the man.
Dude, I'm like the only rep for Glenn.
Dude, I love Glenn.
In the tri-area.
I watched in 93, 94 when we almost beat the fucking who's Milwaukee? We almost beat the Canadians in the finals. I was there. I watched it. I was in Queens. I was rocking out,
living my life.
Yeah, but
this year's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I got the as soon as we clinched, I looked online on the Rangers website. And it was glorious. It was just like, believe. And it just took me back.
I clench my asshole every game. That's my clench.
Tell me, though, man, we're stuck on sports. But tell me, when you go to a hockey game, and you're just as much of a fan as me, that it's I've never noticed it until recently, the constant emotional swings you go through.
Yep.
And now, baseball, you can go through periods of just inactivity.
Yeah, that's why I stopped playing baseball.
And you become, catatonic.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey, I've never really noticed it. When you're especially at the game, you become a psychotic killer. Like you want to kill the guy next to you, and then in the same breath you want to hug him.
Right.
It's just the weirdest experience.
That.
That's what I love about hockey, though. It's just a weird experience.
I've seen this. Well, two things. One, I've known tons of people, avid baseball fans, that I just fall asleep.
Yeah.
Listening to fucking Michael Kay is taking Novocaine, fucking passing out or whatnot.
Another fan.
But with hockey is just, it's an amazing sport, and I don't understand why they don't have more vocations or hockey's not a bigger sport. Because Americans love action, and that is the most action-packed sport. Next to probably football, but it's non-fucking stop.
Yeah, but look how many games is in a hockey season.
Yeah, it's 82
versus in football
16.
Like,
is it?
And just think about that though.
Yeah.
Like how come? And there's points in hockey where like there's so much action, so many games where like a team is going to get worn out. Like in football, you have that week of rest. Sure, you have injured players, but like you're coming out in that first half strong usually.
Right.
This game's where hockey where like you're just like getting beat up after like game after game. A 7-game home streak. What are you gonna do? Like
Yeah. Well,
it's crazy.
Look at the game that the fucking people that who made the schedule. We played the Devils 3 times in 1 week.
Yeah.
Who the fuck does that?
I don't know.
Like, it makes no sense. And that was the point though. When you're talking about emotional swings, I went to the second Devils game was at the Coliseum. They played like dog shit.
Yeah.
I think they went down 2-0 the whole time, or 3. No, they went down 3-0. The entire place was dead.
Yeah.
They scored 2 quick goals at the end, and I've never heard a louder crowd before.
Boom. And that's a pretty like, it's a homey. It's kind of like a very atmospheric stadium. Like Nassau Coliseum, it looks like shit.
Well, that's not. It's giving it justice.
When you're walking into your seat, you feel dirty. You don't go to the bathrooms, but when like the crowd starts erupting, like that's a pretty lively house.
I went to the bathroom last game. I was like, when the hell was the last time they paint this? Do you think they painted this? No?
You don't ask questions like that.
No, you don't. You buy your fucking. Do you know that a fucking Bud Light is 50 cents more than an imported beer?
Really?
Swear to God, I bought a Whole Gardens one day. It was like $8.25, and then you buy a Bud Light in the stands. It's $9.70. No, it was like $9 for a Whole Garden, like $9.50, $9.75 in the fans in the stands for a Bud Light. How the fuck is that possible? I looked at it. I was just like, I just paid cheaper for an imported beer.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
They have, and now in the Garden we're spoiled. I mean, they have what used to be the Bud Light, Bud and like Coors like booth, little tiny booth like on the side. It was like almost like a cashier as you go, and there was like the concession food with beer.
Okay.
Very limited. Now we have like the new Yankee Stadium, like the new Citi Field, is this ridiculous just beer garden almost.
Really?
And it's just taps. Like Brooklyn, all types of beer. Like it's so good. Expensive.
Yeah.
But you pregame it.
Yeah,
but like, come on.
Yeah, we have knuckleheads. That's all it is. It's just like you walk in and it's just like, let me get a Magic hat, and the keg hasn't been changed in about 45 games, and it was fucking gross. It was gross.
Ooh, that sounds.
Shea
delicious.
Stadium was crazy. I was like,
I love Shea.
I was like, what do you have?
Sorry.
Citi Field, whatever. I still
no, but I love Shea.
Yeah,
like I'm a weird fan. I mean, I'm a Ranger, I'm a Giant, and I'm a Met.
I'm Islanders, Yankees, Giants.
And I'm not even really basketball.
Islanders. I started watching it because
I tried. I gave my honest effort. Yeah, no, I gave it my honest effort.
I love it.
I feel like I'll go to the Nets now that they're coming. I don't have an affiliation. I don't give a crap.
Yeah, but they're terrible.
I just think that being able to go to Brooklyn, do your things in Brooklyn, enjoy
That's true.
And then you can go to still.
That's true.
It's a new stadium too. It's going to be nice.
Just wait for the Knicks to come in. The Nets are terrible, apparently. Like, god awful.
Yeah, but maybe that'll motivate them.
That's true.
But they lost like. Who did they lose? Who's their key player?
You're talking about Jason Kidd? He hasn't been a Net since...
No.
That's how far back I go in basketball. I'm like, I remember Patrick Ewing sweating profusely from the locker room. The guy has to fucking come out the squeegee.
Don't worry. My basketball memories is Stark.
Yeah.
And playing the Pacers.
Yeah,
and and almost being the basketball team that they should have been.
Yeah.
Patrick Ewing. What a wasted opportunity to get rid of him.
Why? I just heard my brother the other day was talking about how good of a player he was.
Yeah, Patrick Ewing was the man. I think he rounded off that team. Mm-hmm. And Stark was that little bastard, a tiny little wily kid.
Good,
he was a wily kid, but he was a local and he had a lot of heart.
Right.
And I think I feel like Spike Lee had a convo with him
He probably did.
Don't fucking lose this game because he was in every one of those playoff games.
Dude, he was talking to Will Smith the other night at the 76ers game.
Oh, yesterday, and not to get speaking of that's crazy. Speaking of
right.
Cuba Gooding Jr. was at the Ranger game yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And it starts off on like the Jumbotron where it shows him, and it's like they have Liam Neeson. They have all these like big people and like Tom Green. It's kind of weird, but they're like get it pumped. Let's go Rangers, get pumped. And all of a sudden it goes to like Cuba Gooding Jr. And I'm still thinking that it's part of this like pre-recorded stuff. All of a sudden he just gets up and he rips his like jacket off, like literally like muscle bound, like hoo hoo hoo, like screaming like just a nut, and he's like pounding his chest, and he's like, and the people were like, what the hell's going on? And all of a sudden, in the corner of my eye, I just turn, and I see him, and he's there, and he's flipping out though, like genuinely flipping out.
Really?
Yeah, like just when we're tied 1-1, and then his girl was just like, sit down, she's like pulling him to sit there, and he gave this guy like that like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers Predator high five. Where they're like like that, but he was like boom, 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 boom like that, and he kept doing it. And the guy was like hand was like it was like shaking. It was just the most intense raw emotion. That's what hockey does to you. That's what hockey does to you.
Awesome.
I lifted my brother. My back's killing me. I lifted my brother. We scored our first goal, and I know I think it was Richards when he got his first goal. And I literally like lifted my brother, and then I did the old like the choo-choo train sideways thing, and like freaked out my other brother. And it was just like hockey, man. Like, ooh, why? Why isn't that a bigger sport? It's just money.
I don't know.
It's money.
I don't know. And they pour so much money into the Winter Classic every year, and they don't need to anymore. It's like Kevin Smith.
That's awesome,
fans.
by the way.
You're gonna have Kevin Smith. That's why he went the independent track. Is that he knows his fan base, and that's it. Hockey knows its fan base. They're never gonna get more
Comic Book Man
fans,
sucks.
and that's it. Comic Book Man is fucking fantastic.
It's only
Shut
good.
your mouth.
It's only good. Now, hear me out.
Okay.
It's only good when they have the round table stuff. When they're speaking one-on-one about like just comics, like nerd, like just that's it. When it goes to that stupid superficial setup, hold on, reality style crap. There's too much on TV, man. Like I work for a company that like that's all we push.
Right, I agree with you.
And that makes me like, just like stop. You're ruining things for me.
But I will give you this: non-Tell 'em Steve Dave fans have liked Comic Book Men, and I do agree. But I think it's a good dichotomy when they're actually doing the podcast.
You need a break, but like
fine.
then find something else.
But I also like the fact that they're not trying to be like.
But there's crossover. There's crossover material, and here's the issue, and I can prove it because I saw this episode of like Obsessed or something like that. It's some TLC mumbo jumbo where this woman was like collecting dolls, and all she wanted was dolls.
Okay.
And sure enough, I'm watching the episode of Comic Book Men. She comes in with a Chucky doll.
Oh, that was
that
her?
episode? She was in other shows.
way.
That's cross marketing. That's
No way.
of the worst
Are you
kind.
serious?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
of the
that's
worst
fucking-
kind.
That's fucking brutal.
And
I
she
didn't
was
know that.
disgusting. Like I'm like, ew, get out of my. If I was them, I'd be like,
sucks.
please leave. And she was so she was so damaged to the fact that she it's her children. These are my children. These are my dolls. These are my family.
That's so
That's why her
terrible.
price was beyond reasonable.
Well, you know that they obviously they don't get people coming off the street. They sign like a fucking whatever. And
I
they come
agree,
in.
but do you have to get somebody else who's on a reality
so
thing?
Fucked up though.
So that's what I'm
didn't know
tainted.
that.
I'm a little tainted with that.
I didn't know
But
that.
I do love their podcast stuff.
But I think though too, like when even with the the scripted stuff, there's still them though. There's still like Walt, like
you can see the reactions are
Yeah,
they're genuinely
it's
what
genuine-
is
it's
the
genuine
haggling
reaction.
is definitely
and it's
genuine.
nothing gonna be like the stat. Like it's not like it's not like porn stars where they have like infinite amounts of money to buy whatever. He's like, sure, I'll buy this 1950s Jeep.
I recently just met them by the way yesterday.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
in Red Bank?
on the show.
In Red Bank.
No.
What do you mean?
On I don't know. I can't really go shout out shows there.
I don't give a fuck.
No, but I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But
no,
on the podcast or on?
No, no. For wait, are we on the same page here?
I'm telling Steve Dave. Oh, porn stars.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't watch that. Yeah. Yeah.
No. That's
Oh,
what
okay,
I'm saying.
continue. Yeah.
Yeah. So I met those two guys.
Okay.
And what you call it? The two main guys, whatever. And they're like the nicest people in the world.
They probably are.
Nicest people in the world, and I feel like whatever representation you get from a show, it's just not
No, it's totally not that. I mean, look at
it's bull.
Look at Jessica Simpson when she did that fucking show for 2 years, and she's like, "This isn't me. Like, I'm not stupid." But eventually, you're gonna get like the first season of Jersey Shore. From what I heard, because I don't watch the show, was completely unscripted because they were just moronic. Yeah. And then they were like, well, hey, everybody loves a moron, so now we're going to continue pushing the envelope of doing moronic things.
Think about that, though. They're unscripted for the first season, and they have a loose script for whatever, and they're up to now. Is there really a difference?
Probably not.
Like, I watched a couple episodes. I used to work at a job where, like, we had downtime, and a lot of the, female staff loved that. And it's just like, why?
I've seen a few episodes.
It hurts. It really does. But you know what? It goes back to, that's not the first reincarnation of that crap. It's, road rules and real world. Road rules. Let's be honest here. Who's the real big fault here? It starts with an M and it ends with things I like to do when I'm bored at night.
Yep.
Coming
home. What was it? TRL.
Yeah.
Road Rules.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, because that was the.
But you know what? There was still. I was like, I only watched it for music videos. And
I did too.
And they had that though still at that point.
They did, even though it was the same fucking 5 videos, because they were like, let's see what's on the countdown today.
Yeah.
But it was the same fucking 5 videos.
Like how?
That's all you listen. Even if you like, because I was a huge Limp Bizkit fan, I was a huge nu metal fan.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't even remotely like interested in the bands that were not bands that you wanted to see, at least you knew what they were and they were popular. Like Eminem, I didn't fucking listen to rap, but I was like, oh, I know who Eminem is, so therefore it's still relevant to my time.
Regardless of bands and liking them, the music video and to segue back into film is really kind of like you can relate, because you look at Freak on a Leash.
Yes.
And I was a Korn fan.
Yes. So
but that video was just cool.
Yeah.
Because
they're like, how the hell they do that?
It was cool. And they were like going crazy in like their shed, and it was like, I remember, that sticks out of my mind. Or like Marilyn Manson. This is cool videos.
Yes.
Where like, yeah, the music is like you're down for the music, but like then you get this extra little treat. And I think that it's just gone, that whole idea of, and there's people still making videos. It's you have to, if they're independent stuff really now, and you have to go online and search for a band, but you go on a Google search and you just look for a band. There are going to be videos,
right?
And you're like, I didn't know that was out,
right?
I didn't know that they put that out.
And if you're not,
and they're cool. They're like little movies, little shorts.
If you're not searching for it or on top of it, I mean, I go to 2 metal forums a day.
Yeah.
And if you're not on top of it, you would never know that's out. And sometimes they don't even post it. They're just
how
like,
how are they making money from that?
What do you mean, like
what a music video? It's just another marketing tool,
right?
You're pushing your product, you're giving a visual aid, so it's that twofold part. But like, if you're under the radar and you're putting together a budget for a music video, and you drop the video, but you don't make it known to a huge audience, then how are you making money off of that?
I still think it's with MTV after every show, because my brother's still obsessed with watching MTV. He watches like 16 and Pregnant and whatnot.
Yeah.
They will show snippets of videos of popular artists that are already on, or either mainstream or on MTV, and then they'll give you the link to the website. Because what's faster, because everybody has a smartphone nowadays that you can just go online, you can view it online.
Yeah, no.
That's why I don't necessarily think that that's where music videos died or MTV died. I just think obviously they were making buttloads of money off of non-music stuff and still having the licenses to use the music in their shows, that they were just like, fuck it. Like even at VH1 at one point they were doing so bad in the ratings, they were taking like real world and Road Rules episodes and throwing it over to that channel.
I think that it's funny that we speak of these companies, when do they die? Mm-hmm. When they died, the moment they realized that they're part of the music industry.
Yeah.
Like, the music industry is one of the most cutthroat, industries where it's like, we're here to make money, we're here to put out a product, and you're going to buy it. And it's pretty cut and dry. And like, as soon as like you lose the rebellious status or state of mind where you first come out, like MTV when they first started, I mean, it wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Surely it wasn't like that, But you lose, people move on, and new people come in and take over, but it is a business. But it's anything though.
No, I know, and it's just
that's why I like the independent stuff though. Where you can go out and see a video, you can go online and see a video.
Right.
Go to a show. What we're talking about going on and watching.
This is true.
You're watching stuff like vicariously through an idiot box. Go to a show.
But I'm a not devil's advocate. I'm a product of that though.
We all are.
I'm a product of not. I don't go to shows anymore.
I still go to shows.
Rarely go to metal shows anymore. I will go and see like the artists I promoted before, my cousin's band. I'll go see them because A, fucking love their music.
Oh, yeah.
B,
it's gonna be a good time.
Going to support and whatnot.
Yeah.
And but the thing is though, I think it comes in stages or it comes in waves. Like when I was younger, my fucking life revolved around going to shows. We went to L'Amour's in Brooklyn fucking 3 times a month easily to either see my friend's band play or see them build with another thing. And also, my shows I was going to were like $10, $15. So me being fucking 15-year-old sheep or 16 or 17-year-old sheep, that's fine. That's milk money. It's fine. To go see those shows, it was no problem. I mean, granted, my parents probably had to drive us because Brooklyn and L'Amour's wasn't, the best of fucking areas, and you had to take like 17 trains just to get there. But that's when, like, it didn't matter. Like, that's probably why I have hearing loss in my left ear, because I was fucking stupid all those years and went to shows and sat right up in the front and banged my head and got punched and punched back, and the hearing was fucking gone.
But that's a true experience.
But it loses its pizzazz, like everything. Like at one point, I was just like, it lost its pizzazz at a metal show I was at, where it was going, and it wasn't even late. It was like maybe like 12:30, 1 o'clock. And the headlining band had played more than like 5 or 6 songs. And I'm just like, why am I here? My legs fucking kill me.
Yeah.
I feel like, they're being hacked off at the fucking base. And I'm just like, it's not fun anymore.
We're getting old.
It is. My friend showed up to a death metal show in a suit because he had a fucking job interview. And he's just like, yo, what up? I don't give a fuck no more. And then I cut you know what it is? Okay, here up. I take it back. The ultimate experience. I've experienced what an ultimate metal fan should experience, and I went to Wacken. In 2008, I went to Wacken. And once you get out of Wacken with 71,000 metalheads, there's just no going. Like, I cut my hair off that summer right after, like a week after. I'm just what other metal? I can't possibly get.
But
more
that
metal
doesn't mean
than
that you don't go to the shows. That just
No,
means
I
that you've
didn't
limited
stop
metal
immediately.
shows.
Yeah, I didn't stop.
And you don't. But I'm saying even now, it just means you don't go to shows.
I love independent music. I love independent.
Go to
like
shows.
you said before,
That's what I'm saying too.
I love independent music. I love independent artists. I've always said this. Even if I don't like the music 110% from an independent artist, if it's recorded well,
yeah, I
will listen to it. I will even buy their music because I feel, as being independent artists, being independent filmmakers, or just being in film in general, just you're saying before, it's being cutthroat. Like, we want that reciprocated onto us. Yeah. That they will come out, or they will throw some money. Hopefully, throw some money some way, either themselves or.
I wish.
And I want that to be reciprocated. And
that's like the summer project I'm trying to do.
Yeah, that's a huge.
We're talking about me and Tom Capps and Michael Mercadante, 2 fellow filmmakers that we're all in association with. We're talking about doing this epic journey, so to speak. The project's called Unusual USA, and it's literally us traveling across the great nation of America and pretty much documenting all the nutty, crazy, backwoods shit and things that we have to offer. On our way to the San Diego Comic-Con, which, people who don't know anything are like, oh, that's the epitome of like weird and wacky and crazy and nerdy, and it is like it's a mecca. But like, there's so much more in the U.S. that there's out there that you don't even realize, and that's normal everyday stuff. I mean, we have the giant duck in Flanders, and why would we have that? It makes no sense, but it's there and it's crazy looking. We have there's just so many cool things. There's just like in Kentucky, I forgot, I might have been in Kentucky. I looked up. There was like this cool, gigantic metal robot just stuck in the ground, like halfway, but it looks like it's like taking a sideways little nap. Yeah. Like, what the hell? Why? Why not, though?
That's true. I actually just realized now that you were talking to me about this, because I know about the project. I just realized because you were talking about wackiness, and it kind of reminded me of 200 Motels from Frank Zappa, where he's just like, this is life on the road. But not obviously minus the motel part, but it dawned on me that Comic-Con is not just for hardcore comic fans. Comic-Con has almost something for everything. Like, it has the movie aspect, it has the celebrities, random celebrities that show up. In a sense, Comic-Con is your microcosm of what you're trying to do outside of Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Your whole point of the movie or your documentary is to document the weird nuttiness. But in a sense, Comic-Con is a microcosm of that weird and nuttiness inside and put together in a nutshell.
Absolutely. And it's the universe within the universe theory, where like it's just everything's enveloped into one. But like traveling the U.S., I mean, we're going to show you all this crazy stuff, and then you're going to go to the con. And it's like, is it really going to be that weird? Is it really going to be that unusual? Probably not. And after I see like a guy with 0 teeth, wearing an alligator on his back, and no pants, like I'm pretty sure there's like weird ass crap we're going to find, and it's going to be cool. I mean, please check it out. Go to we have an Indiegogo. Go to Indiegogo.com /UnusualUSA, and just we have a budget that we thought was reasonable, and and by the way, we're living as cheaply and as frivolous as possible. I'm talking like sleeping in campgrounds,
right.
And just having enough money for gas, enough money for food. And to go see the things that we want to see to show you guys.
But that's going to lend itself to the experience. I mean,
absolutely.
My friends went to Portland, and they knew that they weren't going to stay at any hotels. Like, they were going to camp out at least 2 or 3 nights in the Badlands, so they knew it. But other than that, it was sleeping in cars because they had an extremely tight budget, and they wanted to go to Graceland, and their Graceland was Portland.
Yeah.
So that's going to lend to some sort of psychotic breakdown. I expect Tom Caps to just start smoking cigarettes the entire time.
I agree, and
he's just gonna have enough of you two, and he's gonna break down. He's just gonna be like this. He's gonna be shaking. You're gonna be filming him, and he's gonna slam the pack. He's like, just give me a fucking pack.
I've done a similar experiment this past summer. We hiked through Europe, and
oh sweet, I didn't know this.
I camped. Awesome. We camped a lot. We camped in Germany. We camped at Munich. We camped in Pisa. You camping in Germany, first off, you don't know where you are. You just got into town. You're finding a campground. You said you have camp. You wake up. I mean, outside your tent is puke because you puked up all the beer that you had at the beer garden, and the delicious duck that didn't settle correctly.
Yes.
And then you hear the guy across the way, and he's speaking just fluent German, or the guy across from him who's speaking fluent Dutch, and you're like, okay, I am out of my element, and this is nuts. Now, I mean, that's an extreme example. We're going in America. I mean, everyone speaks English to a degree.
Yes.
Hopefully. Different forms.
Not if you go into the boroughs.
So it's going to be one of those. It's going to be quite the experience, and we really just need the funds. We need the funds to get there and get back. Because I mean, I'm okay with sending you guys just the video via, YouTube, Vimeo, because if I wind up we run out of money, we're living in Nevada, we'll give you what we got.
Nevada's crazy, son.
Nevada's
crazy.
But it's gonna be cool. We'll wrap this up. One really cool thing about the project is that it's mixed medium. So I just bought a new Super 8 camera.
Sweet.
Well, new used. I have a 16mm camera we're gonna bring. And we're going to have digital SLR, regular SLR, handy cam. We're going to be all mixed medium.
I got to shoot some cool shit. Baker gave me, shout out to BTB, gave me a Nikon Super 8 or Super Zoom 8.
Nice.
I got to see, the light meter seems like it's Fugazi.
Yeah. It means that it might not work right.
Yeah. Camera's being a little bit of Momo.
Doesn't that mean you live next to your mom or something like that?
No, I think a Momo.
I thought a Momo was a mama's boy.
Maybe. I don't know. Not the way that I listened to a podcast.
Like a Momo.
No, he said Momo is Fugazi. Fagala.
Well, we all know what Fagala is.
I think that's what it is. I think that's what it means.
Anthropomorphic qualities for a camera, right?
Yeah.
But you see my camera? I got to bring that in.
No, I didn't see it yet.
Oh, I just got a new, I got the wide angle for it.
Oh, sweet.
And now I'm getting a telephoto for it. And
you know what made me cry about my camera? The guy, there was a cartridge already in it.
Yeah.
It was a Kodachrome 64.
Yeah.
Can't be exposed anymore. And then
go on.
There's a unopened cartridge of Kodachrome 64. You know when it says exposed by?
Yeah,
1980.
I gotta look at this. You know what I got? This guy sent me. He sent me. I got the camera. He gave me the filter, the hood, body itself, and the actual remote control for it. Which, by the way, is literally just like an eighth adapter to like a little tiny square box.
Okay.
And I don't know how, but magic, it just like clicks and it works still.
Okay.
I'm like, that's amazing in itself. He sent me Super 8 sound stock, unopened.
What is that?
It's the literal like.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
No way!
Yeah.
That exists for Super 8?
Yeah.
I thought it was a whole movie silent shit.
No. He sent me Super 8 sound stock.
That fucking
and
exists.
Yeah, it was it's really trippy. It was. He gave me Ektachrome 60 or something like that.
That can still be.
And then he gave me dude, it was Kodachrome.
Yeah, Kodachrome.
He sent me Kodachrome, but it was sound film.
It can't, dude.
Isn't that crazy?
It broke my heart.
It's unopened in the box.
Same thing with mine.
And then the Ektachrome is still sealed. Like both of them, I'm not going to use.
The Ektachrome you can use. The Ektachrome still can be. I know Ektachrome 16 mil and 35 mil.
60
still.
Maybe not though, because I just bought 2 new things of Ektachrome, but they're 100D. They're not like these are like this was like
a
much different exposure
rate.
rate.
100 daylight. It's fine.
No, what I just bought was 100 daylight.
Right.
What he gave me was like 60D, which or 40 or something like
that's fine though.
Minimal.
That just means that's just the ISO
rating.
rating.
The ISO rating, I know, but like I don't know if they even like. I don't know how,
there's a house. There's a house because we used that on my film. There's a house in New York City that would do that.
But I also got two 50-foot rolls of Vision 3 200T.
Yes.
And
got it from Kodak?
I just want to B&H. I'm like, I just want it because I want to shoot this Tuesday. We're having the show, the B&H show, and I'm actually going to do some home movie kind of stuff. It's going to be cool.
Then you know what? I'm going to give you. No, but it's got to be done on my camera. I'm so pissed off that if I'm rolling all this time and the film's rolling through, I would be pissed off because the light meter does not move.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm reading the manual and I got the batteries for the light meter. It just doesn't. I'm praying that it's auto exposing correctly.
Yeah.
With the camera.
I
would love to have a working Super 8 if mine works.
Because I got the Canon Canon 1014 XL.
Mm-hmm.
And literally through the eyepiece, it reads your exposure stops.
Yeah. So yeah, mine's a needle.
It's so trippy though. It's like, do I really trust this?
But the thing is like,
and like bring a light meter, but like yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is like But see, here's the other thing that bugs me out about that. How do you adjust if you take it off of auto? Yeah. How do you adjust for the lighting?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like there's no iris blade. Yeah. Like there's no blades. So
I know.
They were saying like, oh, you can manually expose or you can automatically expose.
So where's the manual exposure?
I don't know. So I'm hoping that just the auto exposure with the power going from the battery not only powers the light meter, but is also powering the auto exposure feature. Because if I'm putting it on manual exposure, I'm like, okay, well then what else do I do? Because you click the metering and it goes like, and it stops. Yeah. Like, and you shake it and it moves and then it goes back to the same. And I've tried it in complete darkness and it doesn't move. So I think there's something.
Like I tested mine out and it does look like it works.
Yeah, I just hope that this autofocus feature works. And so
I don't know. That's crazy.
Speaking of exposing film, how's the feature? The one that you already have in the can. How is that going?
Oh yeah, What Lurks is What Lurks Beyond. We just shot that. It was our senior project. Tom Capps, my producer, AD, Andy Navartel doing cinematography, Chris Barrio doing first day seeing. It is quite the experience. First off, shooting on like Super 16 stock. It's one of those like, short of having a child, I feel like it's that whole like, oh, is it going to develop correctly? I really hope it does. And sure enough, we were blessed. Everything came out really well. We are probably a day out from a rough cut.
Nice.
So we'll be able to fine tune, start coloring. We have Joe Lapulio in the mouth doing a really cool one-off song for the actual credits. And they're doing the score, so that's going to be cool. And we have Zach Bellissimo, which is Tom Capps' friend who went to SVA. He's doing our poster design, and we have 2 posters that we're coming out with, and they both look awesome.
Sweet. Like original art or just
all original art?
That's awesome. You will probably, as I'm looking around the room that we're in, you would probably be the first one besides that one over there that will have actual artwork. Because everybody, it's a simple way out. I mean, you take a photo, you take a still from, when you're cutting
these are 2, and I'll show you when we're
Yeah, sick.
But they're 2 really cool designs. We have one with the monster, one without. Our main release poster and alternative poster, and it's going to be really, really cool.
Well, talk about what the movie is,
the film,
what type of movie it is, and
it's
a general a little thesis.
A little brief synopsis of the film would be, it's the story of the monster in the closet, the unknown, the scary shadow that is in your room, you're getting ready to go to bed, and you see that the light dancing, and you just instinctually kind of just close up. You kind of put your blankets over your head, and you're not sure what it is. And then it's just shadows, but in this case, it's not. It's the monster. It's an actual monster in a closet, but it's also that interplay with a father and a son, and how the son kind of is tormented by this monster. And the father comes in thinking everything's nice and safe and sound, but it truly isn't. It's probably one of the most dangerous situations your kid can be in. Not a monster, but that whole false sense of security I like to play with. And it's a tribute, though. I mean, it's a tribute to my childhood. It's like Tede Boas's Deadly Spawn, which is really cool, monster creations, or the Monster Squad. These movies where you just the 80s movies, like Creepshow, these cool little shorts.
Just talking about that the other day.
Yeah, that it's just really, when you're a kid, it just scared the hell out of you. And the Twilight Zone movie with the gremlin on the airplane.
Yep.
And that's kind of where we're that's where our influences. That's where we're kind of going with. And it's a short, so it's kind of real to the point, but it's gonna be really cool, and I'm excited for everyone to see it. But it's one of those films that we shot on film, so it's grainy. It looks old, looks like the 80s. The music's gonna go with it. Once the finished product out there, my goal is that it's hard pressed for you just where did this come from? When did this come from? Is this old? Is this new? When is this? And we have physical monster design. Everything was done in camera. Nothing was done in post for that. And we had Rob Doyle, our physical effects artist, amazing. And the monster came out amazing. And he just tortures his kid.
Yeah.
And it's not a happy ending, because the ending is more of an open ending, so,
So there you go. You have meat potatoes, timeless, and open ending.
Yeah.
Nothing short of Inception.
Yeah. Minus the crazy drug-induced cracked-out dreams. If I started, if that was mine,
first of all, you would have to have a wife, and then you would have to have a dead ex-wife.
Yeah.
She's,
it's a lot of work.
As our Minister of Information, Brian Rubin, always says, my future ex-wife.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But,
that's crazy. I'm excited. Thank you for bringing that up, man. It's definitely, the project holds a lot of emotion for all of us involved, and by the way, the reshoots came out good.
Okay,
so that's good too. And everything, it's cool because it's a microcosm of the filmmaking world. We're shooting on film. We're doing physical effects. Like John Carpenter and The Thing. It's always been one of my favorite movies in the world.
Love that film.
It's one of those films that are timeless.
Love that film.
So you take physical effects, true creature design, and you mix that with the whole idea of making a film, but you're doing it on an antiquated medium, essentially, unfortunately. But it's a true little tiny film, and it's gonna be really, really badass. That's why we're trying to do the music right. We're trying to do the posters right, and make it a good release.
Coming from experience, I know that when it all comes together in the end through your trials and tribulation, the project means that much more than just what's presented to the audience, or what the final outcome is, because just doing my senior project alone is going to last me a lifetime, because I know how much I had to go through, what other people had to go through, both involved with the project and not involved with the project, and how it was received by others, how there was almost a little bit, well, I'm not going to say a little bit, a lot of bit of luck involved with the whole project.
Yeah.
And eventually, I mean, you want to talk about the icing on the cake, it's really not icing on the cake about how, the in the end, winning best film here, it means absolutely fucking dog shit, but it feels magical at that time.
Of course.
And you feel that you've accomplished something, because even though it might not mean anything in the real world, it means a lot to the people that you've been working with side by side. Like, it feels a lot more coming from those people.
Yeah.
We showed the first fucking screening that morning when we got it back, and it was cut in less than 24 hours. We showed it right in there to one of the former equipment room managers.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Fuck." It was awesome. That was it.
That's what it's all about.
And you know how much strife you had.
Yeah.
And that is, it's not so much. It is about it, because I look back at my film and I go, yeah, there's a lot of things that could have been done better. There's a shit ton of things that could have been done better. And, there could have been, you can go back and you can probably mat out a couple of things so, literally the edge of the frame is not ripping off because of the film. But in a sense, then you look back at how you got to that point and all those things that led to that point and everything that kind of fell into place, or the sacrifices. It's ultimately about the sacrifice you had to make to create a product that was well received, or may not be well received, but you know the journey, and it's an experience, and it's an experience that you're able to make now.
Yeah.
As being a young filmmaker.
Absolutely.
And not being completely tied down by the system. You're able to make those experiences, and you're able to adapt to that and to change to become a better filmmaker.
Yeah, and that's what that's truly what it's about.
Yeah.
It's that learning experience. It's taking from this project and then putting forth what went right, put that forth in the next project, and what didn't go right, fix it or adjust for it or try something new, or that's what filmmaking is, though. It's a process, but it's the journey, it's the whole experience, it's the hardship, all that combined, that whole nutshell of a bowl of emotions, and then that's what makes it so worth it. Because we're starting a production company now where we're trying to just go out and make films, and we're doing it on a student basis at this point. But Thursday shoots productions with Tom Cass, myself, Michael Mercadante, Kevin Etherson, Emily DeBlasi, Stephen Newman. Like, we have all these people involved, and the project is, Rob Race. There's so many people in this little thing, but it's we're all working together,
and it's a closely knit group.
And that's
no matter how big the size is.
It's not work. When you love what you do, and you're with the people that you love to be with, it's not work.
I always used to come home to now my ex, and I used to be so excited because you have to tell someone.
Yeah.
But like one of our teachers said, no one will ever know what it's like to be on a film set, and I've always taken that as to being the camaraderie that you have on a film set is like no other. I mean, mind you, it's not like being in war or whatnot.
It's like a sports team, though.
Yeah, no one will ever understand. You're in the 14th hour of shooting. It's pitch black out, and you don't know what the fuck you're doing with yourself out there because you're freezing, trying to dunk ramen noodle into the lukewarm water just to get it pasty enough to eat. But that's the experience that when you're all said and done with it, you look back and you're like, I'm glad that I went through that and I didn't pussy out, or I didn't go give up on it, or show my lack of emotions, because then it makes you a better person. That group that you were talking about before is tight knit. They know what they're doing, and they're great fucking filmmakers.
Thank you.
And that is, it sort of reminds me of how Collective 47.
Well, yeah, do a shout out to Collective 47 though, but C47 and everyone involved. I mean, that is who we look up to.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
We truly do. It's truly one of those situations where we have that. We're blessed with that. We can see where you guys are going, and we can see what you've done. And I mean, I personally have seen, the footage from your site, and I just want to do that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And it's funny now, it's like the whole Jedi mentality where we were very blessed to have a lot of outstanding filmmakers in our upper level class. And I was very honored, not even blessed, honored to be in that same bracket. Like they were slowly going out because they were getting older and they had to graduate, but yet they were still enough there. And what they instilled into us is what we've been trying to pass down through, quote unquote, generation of filmmakers, where it was you learn 20% in the classroom and you learn 80% in the field.
What happened to that?
That's just how it works.
What happened to that? Because that's the way it should be. And there's a lot of
the Fisher got put inside.
I feel like there's a lot of lost in translation when it comes to that. Where this particular school, names aside, was pretty gung ho on you doing just that.
Right.
You had certain hours to put in. You had to do this, you had to do that. But you know what? It's like, your first day of class, you're a freshman, or you're transfer. You sit down, and you're like, okay, this is a lot to digest. But like any college experience, and then like, by the way, you also have to do this. You have to do X amount of hours per semester working on a senior project set.
Yep.
And you're thinking to yourself, when am I going to find time to do my projects and that project? The whole learning experience of being on a senior project set is what it's all what you know in the end. It's like, how did I learn to do this? You don't even think about it like when you get further along in your career. When did I really learn how to do audio? Boom! Out of nowhere, you just remember he taught me this.
Yep.
On set. Tom Capps took me on the side and showed me this on set.
Yeah, there's only so much you can.
You can't do that in class.
There's only so much you learn from the textbook. And filmmaking is a relatively new degree, because if you look at all the old, I'm talking about well-versed filmmakers, film school never existed. You look at
there was the California-based film.
Yeah, you look at the cinematography teacher here. He learned from not a textbook. He was a stagehand. From a stagehand to an amazing cinematographer, award-winning cinematographer.
That's how you learn,
and that's why it's a new system, and that's why the upperclassmen, they took us aside and they said, all we want to do is pass along. And I mean, I'm sure that they didn't feel like an embodied spirit to do it.
Yeah.
But they wanted to pass it on, and then I think what took us back, or the surreal moment, is when they were working for us on a project that we were doing.
Yeah.
That it was like, wow, we're actually doing this project, but yet they're the ones that are doing the grunt work, and they're the ones that are watching us do it. And that was the kind of surreal moment that was like, oh wow, it's crazy, and I guess that we've sort of arrived or gained, and that's all we wanted to do. Is we wanted to gain.
That's all I want to.
Gain the respect, ultimately respect, and
I think that respect comes with just a mutual understanding with people, and I think that respect comes with work ethic, and I think respect comes with just quality, good people, and just all having a very like-minded track. And I think that in my life, I would be happy as the Gordon Fisherman.
Okay.
If I could be with my family and friends, and I use that term to describe my filmmaking family and friends, and make films, and just have enough to get by. I want more. I do.
Right.
But I want that.
Who doesn't want
the
more?
Most?
Who want? Yeah.
I would be so content. Literal content, where I can just be like, I'm happy with my life. I go out, I film, I have enough to pay the bills, and I get to do it again tomorrow. That's not a job.
Indeed.
That's called a hobby.
Indeed.
A paid hobby. I mean,
to leave on to close out on two quick things. Kevin Smith said it. People pay me to do, he wakes up one day and he goes, people pay me to do this? It's not even. And the other thing I will leave on this is, if you guys do become successful, and I know you guys will become successful, whether it be tomorrow or a year from now with your production company,
please
make Kevin a movie star. Everybody wants to see more of Kevin.
We do.
Just make him a fucking.
Oh wait, you want to see more of Kevin?
Yeah.
Then you're gonna
make him somehow household name.
You're gonna have to see Goodnight Kiss. directed by Michael Mercadante, starring Michael Mercadante and Kevin Utherson.
Then that's what I have
And
to
by the
say.
way, put the title together with two guys in a car, and you tell me what's going to happen in that movie. All right? Amazing. I'm just saying, good people, surround yourself with good people, have fun with with what you're doing in life, and nothing will be a chore. It's going to be one good time after another. So.
And that will conclude this episode of Counting Sheep.
Thank you for having me.
No, it was a pleasure. It was actually a lot easier than, what I thought it would be 2-on-2. I mean, 1-on-1 like this. And I think I mentioned this last time. Kevin Smith was like, it's very easy to podcast. Like, what you're bullshitting around the table could just be recorded.
Put on the mic,
and it just becomes, you don't even look at it anymore.
You don't.
So I thank you for being here. And hopefully you come back for multiple... even though I know on this episode I promised the people that listen that there was going to be a multitude of people here, but you only got one-on-one.
You got a couple of personalities, but I promise you that I will not leave you alone. That's the problem. You're not going to get rid of me now.
Indeed.
I'm going to be on like every other show, if not every show. I'll be the guy in the corner and be like, damn, shut up. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about, Callahan scoring the last goal against,
well, you know what? Then spread the word.
The Red Wings.
Spread the word.
Yeah, look out. Seriously, guys, everyone go on your, Facebook and Twitters, because we're pumping out news every time these shows come out.
And anybody who wants to come down, see the movies that we were talking about, meet and greet, I guess, if you want to call it that.
That would be really cool.
Or come down to the podcast. I try to make it myself as accessible as possible. I try to make it as DIY as possible, because that's all I have. And I'm glad that the people from last episode said that they would come back eventually, and they had a blast. So it is fucking good times all around, and hopefully we have some alcohol, because last two episodes, we've been dry as a bone over here.
Yeah, we have been dry.
You know what? That I've been breaking my own mantra to have alcohol every episode.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Go on iTunes. It's free.
Yes, podcasting.
Go right on, and you can definitely look it up and get the podcast. Start listening.
Sir, it's been a pleasure from
Absolutely.
This episode of Counting Sheep to my, I guess, front and center.
Front and side center, I just want to say thanks. That's all I want to say. Dan Pfeiffer, I'm here forever.
And I'm Sheep, and you're counting on me. Take it easy.